the lobby. The time for chatting is over and the time for playing has begun, and you can tell the loading screen is taking slightly longer than anticipated. Adam's burnt Aviator, your load times are killing me here, guys. But game number 1 of this November Nova Cup semi-final is about to begin any second now, guys. Really, if you want to finish loading, just come on guys, you can do it.
The hamster's working. It's running really fast.
Here we go. Game number 1. Let's go.
Wow. We're multiple seconds in and no one's locked in Chaos?
No one's picked anything yet.
There it is.
There's the Chaos Abuser. Let's ping his lane. Come on, shame! 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 Oh, that was a good combo. Alright, meanwhile we have Aviator with at least a shred of self-dignity picking Cartel, Ofma on the Fiesta, and Widderson on the Cartel. So this is quite an interesting matchup actually, because Fiesta of course can scale very, very well into the late game. Both Cartel players hoping for the strong start to the game. They will, of course, peter off past wave 11. But this might end up being a bit of a race between the Chaos player, which I've said time and again tends to be the strongest late game mastermind, versus the Fiesta player, which, while it doesn't have the unlimited roll potential of Chaos, it does have much better kind of early game scaling potential, I have to say.
Yeah.
And I love the bazooka. The bazooka opens with Fiesta. Unlimited potential on every wave to leak the right amount or 100%. It's unparalleled, I feel.
I hate it. I mean, if I was Ofma, I would have probably started Treant, but maybe he knows what he's doing.
Maybe.
Oh,
we'll find
Snail
out.
against Widderson. They picked the wrong player to Snail, I'm afraid.
Yeah.
I need to try and fix my scoreboard, guys, so if you wouldn't mind...
Yeah. I mean, it's an unusual opener from Widderson. I haven't seen Tempest Cat opener in, like, a long time, and I don't even know... Does it hold Snail? I guess it does.
Just about, but he's not covering anything. We're going to see the King tickled a little bit on wave 1. I think what's a more unusual open is the Oathbreaker plus the Aqua Spirit for Adams. So, if there was any doubt at all in the Brother Mings' mind of whether Adams had picked Chaos or not, that's gone. That's
yeah. I mean, it's obviously Chaos, right?
Yeah. There's no other reason you're going to do that.
Yeah. All right, we're back. Sorry about that. Scoreboard is now active, and we do see the Pro League on Ofma. Widderson enjoying the +6 gold as well. So that's a really solid start for the Brother Mings.
Yeah, certainly. I don't know what Ofma is doing. Like, I haven't played Bazooka Fiesta. I've seen it like once in my game, and it was like a leak Fiesta in the sense that it leaked every wave, like 100%. So I hope he knows what he's doing.
He just holds here, right? Like 3 Bone Warriors
right.
is easily enough to hold no set.
Yeah. There's 700 HP.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He may have even held a Snail here. Like, this is not close. The 2 bazookas are full HP.
Yeah.
Jules?
He definitely expected a send.
Yeah. Alright, but his send is coming here instead on 3. He's pretty low value with 100 gold to spend. I mean, Treant is probably his best bet, right?
Yeah. Or a Crusher with like an insane positioning for some weird split tanking, but I don't think it exists with his current build.
Mm-hmm. All 4 players on 6 workers meanwhile, so nobody really starting to fall behind just yet. And there's the Treant pickup from Ofma. He gets a 60 send, so DT Snail. The DT dies fairly quickly. He is going to leak here for sure. It's just a question of how badly, I think. His bazooka's focusing very nicely the same units.
Nice skill.
One more? No. 56% leak there from Ofma. Widderson is covering though, so he's pretty happy with that. Meanwhile, Aviator and Adams, they're both holding their lanes quite comfortably as well.
Aviator is not pushing off of the 40 cent because he has Elite Archer Gargoyle, which is insane on like wave 3. But now he has wave 4, which is it's not insane on, wave 5, which is weak on, and wave 6 is also a weak wave, so he has to be a bit more conservative.
Yeah,
he's also figuring that he's being sent by the Fiesta player as well, so he you know, you could feasibly understand that you're going to be sent some of the bigger sends.
Yep, reasonable. And
Yeah,
as a result, though, he's going to get punished here because Ofma is not resending here wave 4, and Aviator's overbuild is going to kind of bite him a little bit there, I think.
I think he'll be happy once the send comes that he didn't push the 7th worker, to be honest. I just wonder if it's going to be a wave 5 send, because wave 5 he obviously has Mudman in his role, but if Ofma decides to go hard wave 6, I don't see any counter in his role. But he's still... No, he's re-rolling right now. I think he's re-rolling at the moment.
Yeah, he is. Alright, so we get holds in all 4 lanes here, wave 4. Aviator going for some income, just feeling the pressure there from Ofma, and Ofma does skip again, yeah, so this is what you were saying, Julian. Aviator looking pretty vulnerable there on wave 6.
And I think if this is his role, he doesn't have an answer. He's gonna go for a big leak on wave 6, if this is his role, and I think it is.
He can't afford to not build here either, right? Because he can leak really badly. Oh no, he has just rerolled. He picks up the Pilgrim.
Ah, okay. Yeah, but still, like, no good answer for wave 6. He
Yeah.
was more afraid of this wave and built the Pilgrim for this. But now he's gonna be very unhappy that the send doesn't come.
That focus is just delicious for Aviator, though. Look at that Pilgrim placement. It tanks the boss and nothing else. It gets insane heal value on the gargoyles as well. That was a really nice placement from him.
For this wave.
Yeah, the next wave might be slightly different.
And it's a Mimic.
Oh, a Mimic on 6 from Ofma.
Smacking a little bit.
Wow, that is that's kind of rude, honestly.
Oh, I'm grabbing my towel. Oh, I'm sweating. Oof. But is he placing the Mudman to hard counter the Mimic? Is he really reading that play? Oh, he is.
Oh, he is, wow.
He really is.
What a beast, man. Wait, changing his mind? But the Mudman is also just the best unit for him to build here, right? Like, there's nothing else in his role that's any better than that.
Yeah.
But it's going to do very, very well against this Mimic, so let's see. 180 mythium for Aviator. Alright. I mean, the Mudman will die, but it's also worth mentioning that it's insane value for the Pilgrim to heal a hardened Mudman. Yeah, his archer dying there is just devastating for Aviator. He really needed that to survive. And sure, he's doing okay, killing 4 out of the 6 Rockos, but it's still a 68% leak. And 15 gold on that Mimic. Juicy. Oh, and more in the mid as well. Oh, Mimic snacking. 21, 24, one more, 27. Let's go.
Easy Mimic, but there might be one coming back from Adams, who also has some amount of mythium.
Oh, Adams is just turbo cringing against Ofma here. So I guess he wants to go wave 8 with Ghost Knight or something like this. Maybe it's even like a Centaur. Like, Adams has so much mythium over here.
I mean, ideally you want to go wave 9, because on wave 8 Widderson is very much unleakable. But I don't know if they can really afford it. And Ofma sold a bazooka to get his Cage of Pain, or Iron Maiden here, sorry. And that is not amazing against the Ghost Knight on wave 8.
I mean, the Starve on Ofma has already been reaping some reward in that Ofma's not been able to Fiesta for pretty much the entire game. He's been getting starved and having to add every wave, and so yeah, they're playing into it quite well.
Yeah. And now Aviator gets a resend, which it looks like he should be snacking there with the Immortal Green Devil getting healed. And yeah, they continue to save. Adams is approaching 300 mythium over there in lane 4. And there's the GK. And he has the Patrick skin as well, so that's obviously makes it 20% more powerful. And Ofma, what is your answer, my friend? You've got 200 gold to spend. What am I looking at? DT Mole? Ah, he could have ogred.
I mean, if you want to leak this, I think this is a clear ogre, no? Am I tripping? Like the
ogre,
DTs
yeah.
die fast, and the side gunners kill the mole, and then the cat kills the wave, no?
And he's even pulling the mole left, right? Or does this Neko change things?
No.
Let's have a look. The mole, it does yeah, okay, it's going to die pretty quickly. The Patrick, though, Ofma receiving 300 mythium here. He's just killing nothing. He's killing absolutely nothing here.
Yeah.
This is a home run for our boy Ofma. Oh, Adams, though, he returns the favour.
Uh-oh.
Okay.
Turbo Cringer.
Uh-oh. And meanwhile, Widderson does hold. You're right. The mole DTs just weren't it against Widderson's Leviathan Tempest build. So as a result,
too much.
as a result, a pretty decent trade, honestly. I mean, Ofma Widderson, they are losing a lot of King HP here. They're going down to around 70% there. But Adams, he did leak the 100% as well. So this could have been much, much worse for Ofma and Widderson.
Yeah. I think Widderson is just going to be super far ahead now.
Yeah, he is. Look, he's on 16 workers, 17 even, and he just has the highest income in the game, by far the highest workers in the game, and the power score's telling a story here, right? Widderson is on top by miles. Unfortunately, though, his teammate is on the bottom, so that does make it a bit more even between the teams. And in fact, if you look at the win percentages up at the top, Jules is giving just a 2% edge to the side of the Brother Mings.
Yeah, and I think the Brother Mings have, but they do have the correct suicide lineup, because Aviator is the one that has a decent game on Adamiator's side. So Ofma can just eventually suicide into Aviator, and Widderson should always have enough workers to leak Adamus because he turbo cringed.
Yeah.
So strategically, I would definitely favor Ofma and Widderson here, but it's still anyone's game.
Alright, here comes the yellow boy from Ofma, the mole brute from Widderson, only income sends from Aviator and Adams, so a little bit... oh, nice soundboard usage. Aviator, though, he's on 1500 value with a Trinity Archer APS combo, so I don't really see him leaking here at all. Adams, though, he's looking considerably weaker over here in lane 4. Somehow managing not to roll the Berserker on wave 10. That's a new one as well.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, I think this is kind of weird because there's Predator in the game, and somehow all teams manage to send on wave 10, which is clearly impossible if there's Predator in the game.
Right, yeah. I can see it though, because I mean Ofma is just garbage on this wave. He is going to leak quite badly to the income send. Widderson holds. Oh, there is a leak! Oh no! The 3% HP Ogre! The nice lock spams come out! Wow!
Look at you!
Adams actually did better than I expected there, leaking just 33%, but Aviator, that is devastating. He's on super high value with pretty good units for the wave and still manages to leak with an Ogre on 1 HP. Oh no.
That's a tilter.
Yeah. But the teams are going to be on identical King HP, more or less, 63 to 64. But yeah, this is turning into the Widderson show, right? He's comfortably ahead in terms of workers. The egg sack, okay. That's a pretty classic Aviator.
Yeah, I mean, he has a very good role for the mid and late game to do the egg spam, which is why he's incoming. But I don't think like he can overcome the worker deficit. Ooh, battle scars as well. He can't afford the Creditor. I wonder what Widderson and Ofma are picking.
Widderson and Ofma, yeah. Do they ever try to Creditor? No, Widderson's already spent all of his gold, so he just takes the battle scars. There is a Creditor on Ofma, though. Alright, he only receives a Dino. Can his Boom Tree get on the wave? It can, but it had very little mana, so not too much damage from that bad boy. He does have the Shadow Dancer here. It's not upgraded, though. Let's see how he does here, because he's very low value.
I mean, if he leaks, that's very bad for Aviator and Adams, because Aviator does not hold on wave 12. This,
Widderson,
however,
though, that is quite good, now that they both leak. Yeah. Oh, Ofma does kill one more, even one? No, okay. So that's a really nice Fiesta for Ofma. Unfortunately, though, Waldoson over there in lane 2, leaking just, well, quite heavily to 4DT.
Do they send here, though? Because they have a lot of mythium. And sure, Aviator is strong on wave 12, but he can definitely leak... Oh,
wait.
Only Widderson is sending?
Okay. Widderson sending, Ofma saving. That's, I mean... Aviator's very strong here, right? Even with the egg down on the field, he is very, very strong here. If he goes for double Trinity Archer, APS, maybe he even hardens his Mudman as well.
He's lacking tank value. I think he leaks to a 400 cent. But I think they are going for the... Widderson just scales with his workers, and Ofma just saves, so we can limit the Aviator problem and kill him with a suicide later on.
Yeah, makes sense.
I think it makes a lot of sense with Widder being 10 workers above everyone else in the game.
Yeah, right.
He's going to reap the rewards of this in 2 waves' time already.
This is a 540 Mythium send, though, on wave 12, which is pretty brutal, honestly. And Adams is going to leak quite badly. Is it even going to be enough creeps to kill Aviator's egg? I think not, right? Aviator easily held the no-send there. Alright, only 82% actually. Adams did pretty well there, got to say.
Yeah, I think they will turbo cringe now with Aviator's eggs, but I'm not sure if it's going to be enough, because Widderson has such a good scaling now. He's 100 income ahead of everyone, and he has Tempest Phoenix with Battle Scars, which is a really, really strong combination.
Yeah. Although no Battle Scars on the Phoenix as yet. They're both on the Blood Moon Nekomata over here.
Can Aviator place more eggs? I don't think he can, and I mean he seems to be too afraid to do so.
Yeah.
Which is also a big victory for Ofma and Widderson.
Yeah, right. Although Ofma is definitely committing here, so he's taking himself out of the game somewhat in order to maintain this pressure onto Aviator.
Yeah, but Adams did the same in the early game to him, so it only makes sense that he sort of returns the favor.
Now, Widderson is having a very nice game here, actually. He does have a little bit of pressure. Aviator has been saving his Mythium, as he is wont to do. But the pressure on the side of Ofma, I think, is the greatest in the game currently. And here they go. There is a wave 14 send. Do Aviator Adams match, or do they want to save their Mythium? They're saving.
But I wonder, like, this is Aviator's strongest wave. I wonder if this is a mistake, because I think they were afraid now that they would leak here, despite Ofma's cred. But I'm not sure if this is, like, correct to send here.
Yeah, it's hard to say. And look at this, by the way, because Aviator's Green Devil has all 3 stacks, and Adams, of course, nice looking the Millennium. Very solid Chaos play there on wave 14. But yeah, look at this Green Devil for Aviator. 3 stacks of the Battle Scars, 2 Chieftain buffs, and of course the double Trinity Archer with MPS for DPS. Like, he's very, very strong on this wave.
Yeah, he is minus 300 though on the recommended, and Adams is minus 100 with not an amazing build. So, let's see.
Let's see if we can get both of these lanes in on the action at once. It does look like Aviator is going to be leaking, but really not too bad at all. Meanwhile, Adams, with that nice luck on the Millennium for 14, he's just, I mean, he's leaking just a low HP Centaur and a Drake, while Aviator leaks 55% as well. So Aviator and Adams, they wanted to save their Mythium, they did, and it looks like it's paid off big time for these guys here.
Yeah, I think this is a problem for Ofma and Widderson now, because they're only at 45% king. So sure, they got some economic damage here, but there's a big send by Adamiator coming on, I think, wave 16 probably. Or wave 17 even, but probably 16. Yeah. And I'm not sure if they can survive on the side of Ofma and Widderson.
I mean, Ofma's just incredibly undervalued. Look at that. He's already 1,200 undervalue here on 15.
He's suiciding. He's suiciding for the race on 16.
Okay. I like that
That's
play.
That's the correct play.
Yeah, Ofma had absolutely zero chance of being able to hold himself on 16, right? So why not go for it?
I think it's the only play they have, and it's good that they really saw this problem coming. But let's see if that's enough.
Yeah. Now, Adams, I was going to say he's quite low value, but he actually shifted a lot of gold here. So did Widderson, though, so Widderson wasn't feeling too scared here.
Look what he rolled!
He rolled the Boom Tree and the Pyro. Yeah, very nice luck. Very solid Chaos play.
This might save him, because Widderson has a lot of mythium, and Adams does not have a lot of value. So he really had to roll a good unit for this wave in order to hold. Which he has to do, because Aviator can't hold. He's too far, like, too low on value against the Suicide. But I don't think Widderson can hold, so this comes down to a race.
Yeah, and 3 Pyros is pretty good in a race for a Chaos player on 16, right?
I mean, it depends. Pyros are good if he can, like, full clear, or at least roast the entire wave. But they don't provide, like, stall, which you ideally want in a race.
That's
but
true.
I think 3 Pyros with a Hades and a Trinity
it's
Archer.
It's a lot of damage. It's a
lot of damage.
Yeah.
It might just roast the wave.
Yeah,
but he gets full auras. So let's see. This is the lane to watch for sure.
Yeah, this is going to be the decider, I think, in Adams' lane. But Ofma and Widderson, they both receive way more mythium. 1240 for Ofma, who of course is just insta-leaking the entire wave. Widderson gets 1100. His Phoenix is giga-smurfing here. Adams is leaking hard. Oh! Did the suicide play from Ofma just clutch this game from the jaws of defeat? It's going to be close. They have 10% more King HP. Oh, wait, it's not close at all. This gate opens immediately. Aviator and Adams, they are dead here, wave 16.
Holy moly. What a beautiful play. That was incredibly well called by Ofma. Balls on this man.
Yeah. Brother Ming really clutching here when the chips are down. That was solid play there from Ofma and Widderson. Just look at this graph, right? Like, when we see Aviator and Adams saving their mythium, Jules is giving them a big edge there. The graph dips hard into the red. And then Ofma with this 5-head suicide play, pushing all of his gold into workers against no send in order to break Aviator fast and hard enough on wave 16 to close the game. That is really solid play from Ofma. That's a very well-deserved win.
Oh.
Wow. What a juicer, guys. Even with Adams nice looking the Pyro on 16 as well.
Yeah. I still think the 14 cent was a misplay because they were too scared. Aviator does not have enough mythium with his egg play and Ofma credit, so he should have enough value to do okay on 14. And if they go for a big cent 15, Widderson has Phoenix, and I don't think that Adamiator has enough value to like hold against like 900 or something like that on 15. And then they force 15 and are probably fine.
Yeah, but I mean, Ofma and Widderson would almost certainly be leaking pretty badly on 15 as well, right? Because they'd have so much less gold. But it's a tough one. It's a tough one for sure. But I really like the way this one played out, because it looked like they were doomed after that wave 14 send, and they barely got any leaks. It certainly felt to me like Aviator and Adams were winning from that point, but some very level-headed decision-making from Ofma and Widderson, letting them just snatch that game back. It was really, really well played.
Yeah, certainly a back-and-forth affair that was a lot of fun to watch. I'm really looking forward to the second game.
Oh, I have to congratulate Nyctea, by the way, for finally hitting Legend in this video game. Very well played, bro.
Nyctea!
If the season goes on long enough, you know,
proof if it was ever needed. If the season goes on long enough, anyone can hit Legend. But yeah, we have all 3 casters as Legends in this lobby. Very, very nice indeed.
Yeah. We're god gamers.
Ofma is taking credit there for the idea of the Sui push into wave 16. Does give me the sneaking suspicion that it might have been a Widderson call.
Maybe.
Alright, so we should be getting into game number 2 any minute now, guys. Just waiting for the players. We haven't heard from Aviator and Adams yet, so we could have another minute or so to go. But guys, what do you think It's hard to call. This is what I always ask the same question. What do they need to do differently in game number 2 if they want to win? But that was a very, very close game ending in a race on 16. Like, they didn't play it badly by any means from Aviator and Adams. They did their game plan, they saved their mythium, and almost by rights they should have won there on 16. But some really, really clutch decision making from Ofma and Widderson turned the game on its head. So, yeah, love to see it.
Yeah, I think the early game was a bit rough because of the Adams. The save for wave 8 was good, but he leaked 105% on wave 8. He held his mythium a bit too long, and I think that really put him behind and put them in a rough spot, which they almost clutched.
Yep. Oh, guys, here we go. Game number 2.
Oh, again, Fiesta Cartel. I love to see it.
Against Cartel Chaos. Nyctea, what do you think about these mastermind roles?
Don't have a huge amount to say about Adam's Chaos.
Yep.
I mean, we saw in Game 1 that he's capable of rolling Millennium on 14 and Pyro on 16, and it didn't help. So, you know, he's got the heart of the cards, but is it enough?
Oh, is it enough indeed? But look at this, though. Aviator reading Widderson like a poorly written German book. He sends the snail into Widderson's Fiesta in game number 2, and this should be rewarded. Although Widderson, he has some pretty janky Fiesta openers there, I've got to say. Nothing really stands out to me.
He's re-rolling.
Okay. Very good.
Yeah,
Ofma has a really nice role, though. Gate Guard, Angler, Steve.
Oh, where's the Fiesta player? Oh!
Bring me the stacks.
Ofma is snailing as well, but Aviator's going to be very fine because he also adds the Angler to his Gate Guard build. And
what's this, Widderson?
Almost.
Widderson, what is this? You picked a Pota. Where the F are you going to put the Pota with your starting build?
Yeah, that's a solid question, actually, Julian. Where is he going to put that Pota?
Is it going to be a famous Bronze League backline Pota?
It's going to have to be, right? Where else can it be?
How do you feel about Casket Harpy as a Fiesta open? Because I don't know how you leak only a small portion of the wave with that.
Yeah,
feels like you leak everything or nothing.
Yeah, it's pretty all or nothing for sure. But he didn't have anything else. Like, he's done his reroll there on wave 1. He didn't find a proper Fiesta opener. So sure, he was able to hold the snail from Aviator, but you're right. How is he ever going to get clean Fiestas with this roll?
I mean, it's the Johnny C special, where you just pick something that is not a Fiesta opener, you pretend you're not Fiesta, and at some point, you just go full suicide.
As long as you kill the Scorpion on 5, right?
Yeah.
You're not going full sis. I don't think I've ever played with Johnny C where he hasn't rolled Pixie with Fiesta. So I don't know what you're talking about. You obviously have better luck in your games.
I mean, I was referring to his playstyle on my team. In the enemy team, he usually plays pretty well.
All right, Wibberman, he is starting to push now, but still adding rats as well. Like, he's very much cosplaying not Fiesta.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like not Fiesta, but in fact, it is.
And that's how he gets you, you know?
Yeah, that's how he gets us. I think he's going for
a bit of a lead.
Medium-sized leagues, like in the mid-game, because then the casket spell doesn't do like as much as early game. Ooh, this is good.
No, maybe? He holds, right? Yeah.
Right?
Right. Easy hold.
Oh!
Which is just as well, because Ofma over here in lane 1 is going for a bit of a pro league himself. 33% there from Ofma. Wibberman, he's going to be able to kill 1. Yep.
Yeah. Oh, a brute on 4?
That's exceptionally rude from Ofma there. What is Aviator's answer against this? A Harbinger! A wave 4 Harbinger! That's interesting, for sure.
Someone check him PC. I haven't seen a wave 4 Harbinger in ages.
Yeah, I mean, he's going to hold, right? Because he's 425 value on wave 4 with a Harbinger.
I mean, is he? Are you sure?
I mean, he should. It's only 100 cent.
Value is pretty good in this game.
He is on value.
Yeah, but he has 0 units for the wave.
True.
I mean,
The Harbinger is getting full focus. The dog did not tank. Does get second summon, though. Does get second summon.
Unfortunately, he's not penny focusing the brute, so he is going to actually get to kill almost the entire wave.
He's just doing phenomenally well there. Okay, sure, he leaks, but it's only a brute and 1 chicken. Do have to say, at least he stayed very low workers up until this point in order to do so, and they're still getting a tiny tap of king damage.
What do you mean? It's a brute on the king. It's like 80%, no?
Bam.
That was with tenacity, Julian.
Ah.
Yeah, now it's only 1% instead of 100.
Yeah.
Widder isn't full suicide here. He has found something to kill the Scorpion King.
Wow. He also
So
has
is this going to be a
130 gold.
5-head fiesta? It's going to happen here for the first time.
I mean, with an upgrade on the Cage of Pain here, that just does nothing on Wave 5. I think it might be a little bit more than a Fiesta Pro League here, but we'll see.
Is he sending the DG? Oh, yeah. Then yes. I think just the Dino would have probably been a good Fiesta.
Oh, he's not even properly focusing the Scorpion. Does he kill it? He does.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
he does.
now.
He does. He's fine.
He's even managing to kill a few little Scorpions as well as the big one, so I think that's actually a fairly decent performance there from Witherman, 58%. Ofma, of course, is holding his lane. He only received a DT. With that Bounty Hunter full HP as well, problem is it goes straight on the Dino, so he just kills nothing, right? Oh,
Maybe.
very nice aggro there with the dog tanking a couple.
Oh, get
He
it!
does. He does.
Oh.
And
more.
nearly a Scorpion there. We were all rooting for the little guy. Oh wow, they're doing some cringy cringe. But only an income send though, so Widderson
And
going
lovely
for the
from Widder.
scaling again. Same game plan as game number 1, it seems, from Ofma and Widderson.
Yeah. But I think the Drake is a really good send against Adamus, who, if I may say so, skillfully rolled the Halo for Wave 6, because he was looking god-awful with his build.
Yeah.
But now he has Steed Halo for Wave 6, and he might do okay.
Yeah, that's very skillful from Adams. Very well played, Adams.
Yeah.
Still 160 cent though. The problem is, will the Drake kill this consort? It doesn't. Okay, I was worried that the Halo might just snipe the Drake, but like this, the Drake continues dealing damage, and it should be a small leak from Adam, despite being 670 value here on the 6th wave. Unless, does the Halo win this 1v1?
Surely.
Oh, it looks like yes, right? Okay, he does hold. And meanwhile, Widderson leaks 50% to 2 DTs, a bit more than a Pro Fiesta leak there from him.
But now he can push super hard with his build.
Yeah.
And Ofma has Bounty Hunter with 1 Steed and is doing okay while having 200 Mythium.
Yeah.
He's gonna be
There's
in a
the
really
yellow
good
guy.
spot.
There's the yellow guy.
And...
Whoa! It's the longest wave in recorded history.
Yep.
So Aviator really feeling the pressure, is having to income king every wave. So Widderson is again scaling
He
to
got
the moon.
Kingpin.
He did
He
get
got
the
the king.
kingpin. It's quite low stacks there, 63. But he's looking so strong on this wave. He's even over value. In fact, both Aviator and Adams are over value here on 7. Aviator, 982 value here on wave 7. That's pretty crazy, guys.
Yeah. I wonder if he can kill the ogre. Like, I guess it depends on the focus.
Yeah, does he get lucky or not? The Ogre, of course, makes very quick work of the split. It's now over onto the Kingpin. So let's keep eyes on this Ogre. Will it get sniped or not? So far, it's full HP. It looks like no. But Aviator is just absolutely snacking the wave. In fact, he's already killed everything in the wave. And now it's the
leaking the
Harbinger
Ogre.
1v1. Yeah, he's leaking the Ogre and I guess 3 small slimes? Oh, he almost got that second summon off. That may have been enough. But 56% there from Aviator. Still pretty solid performance against a 240 cent.
Yeah, he's not gonna be mad about that, I think.
Nope. Now everybody going for income. And once again, this is Ofma starving himself out of the game on a cartel roll. So once that wave 11 rolls around, Ofma and Aviator both going to be in a little bit of trouble, I think, because they've had tough early games with Ofma starving Aviator, so Aviator hasn't been able to scale, and of course he ends up starving himself by saving so long. Yeah.
Some nice value from Mr. Ofma now that he got his Kingpin power spike. But I think the real worry for Widderson and Ofma is Adams, who really got a good scaling out of the big send on wave 6 that he could hold. Now he's on 16 workers with Chaos and is gonna just scale to the moon.
Yeah, he's not stopping on 16 either, he's 17 now. Will he go to 18 as well? No, okay, he's happy with 17 workers for now. He is going to hold here against the 100 send, and of course Aviator is holding against the triple snail as well. Now it's Adamiator's turn to save that mythium as they so enjoy. And when do you guys think they want to send against Ofma and Widderson?
No.
No? Okay.
No.
Nyctea, when are you sending against these guys?
I'd expect 11, but it may also just be income there and looking to scale with I don't know, 15 cents or so.
Yeah, I could definitely see 11. There's all-out assault is on the table. The best defensive spell is Sorcerer, which Ofma and Widderson currently have no Sorcerer units at their disposal.
Yeah, I would expect Adams to skillfully roll a Trinity Archer, or I don't think Halo's a very good Sorcerer target, so I guess no one has at the moment, but Adams has the potential to get something.
Yeah, I mean, it's only wave 9 now, so he's presumably going to roll Trinity Archer on wave 11, I would imagine, to go with his Tempest and that Sorcerer.
Oh, we do see the 10 cents.
Alright.
I'm a bit confused why they are sending into a double Sky Queen build on wave 10.
Well,
and Ofma...
Widderson...
Ofma has Berserk in his role, which they obviously don't know, but I wonder if he's gonna read it. I guess their value kinda clearly communicates that they get a send here. But he has really ugly gold. Oh no.
No, he's reading this all wrong. This is going to be a disaster now for Ofma. The Berserker would have helped him out so much. Widderson has 290 gold. I'd like to see him build something.
Yeah, he's
Widderson's building 11. For 11 as well. Yeah.
Reading this wrong. Oof.
At the least, the Orchids are quite good tanks on 10, while the Sky Queens do the damage. But these sends are enormous. 320 for both players. Oh, that's clutch, actually. Killing the Ogre is very, very nice for Ofma. He does kill one of the Brutes as well. He's actually focusing the second, too. Widderson, he nearly kills the boss. Very, very nearly, leaking that with just 5% HP. But Ofma... he did snipe all of the sends at least, but that's a very healthy 60% HP boss and a 4 eyes reaching the king. This is going to be quite some damage here, guys.
Yeah, but this does give away the pressure, and with all-out assault, wave 11 definitely looks scary for Adamiator. Even though this is a lot of money, I'm not sure if they have enough to like full clear against an all-out assault send without defensive spells.
Yeah, let's have a look. Aviator's going to be over 1800 value. Adams as well. He did nice luck both the Pilgrim and the Boar here for wave 11, so he's got options.
I wonder if Aviator goes for the Phoenix or not. It's such a like hit or miss unit on wave 11. It can either just full clear for you, or it just gets focused, or it tanks 0, and in both cases it's completely useless.
Yeah. He rather goes for a Gate and a Badger. Is Badger good on wave 11, guys? I'm not sure.
It's good against a 4 eyes.
That's true.
He's got that going for him.
That is true. Oh, these sends are pretty large. 540 into Aviator, 520 into Adams. He does have that Sorcerer on his Arc of Justice. As you were saying, maybe not the best Sorcerer target, but it's still something. Now, Aviator, his Fire Lord is actually doing really well there. It's low mana and not being deleted, so it is doing some decent damage. Widderson leaking 61% to a single Cannoneer, meanwhile, but that's Fiesta value. Adam's 51% leak, Aviator 80% leak, and, well, they have got full King spell, it seems.
This is still a lot of damage. This might even out the game, and Widderson has the highest income and the highest workers in the game, but Ofma is quite far behind. So I'm not sure. Like, I would still slightly favor Adamiator, but this is very scary still.
Well, Jules is giving Adamiator a big lead here, 63% on the JPI calculator.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, Ofma and Widderson are looking very weak on 13, but Adamiator don't really have enough time to generate enough mythium to threaten them on 13. And 14 looks kinda impossible, so you're almost forced into 15. But 15 is scary for both sides where you end up racing. And you can get undercut on 14 because they don't look like super strong there. But they're overbuilding enough to go 15, I guess.
Yeah, Aviator and Adams are on super strong value here at the moment. We do see Aviator with that Iron Scales as well, so trying to break him on 14 is tough.
Full shifted, both of them.
Yep.
I think Widderson is leaking here. They try to bait the 13 send.
Now that is a fiesta there from Widderson. 25% leak against no send, and like you say, they just really want to bait a send here on wave 13, where Ofma has the Millennium, and Widderson, I mean, maybe we finally see that Priestess.
I don't think
the backline Priestess. No, but Adamiator, they do not fall for the bait.
Yeah.
They are saving their mythium.
But it's still scary, because you're looking at a 15 race at this point, I guess.
Yeah.
You don't want to send into this build on wave 14. And this is also not a very weak build on wave 14.
I mean, it's not. But Aviator and Adams, they just have way more value on both of them compared to Ofma and Widderson, right?
It looks very good for them, but it's still a scary spot to be in. Ooh, the boost. Rip 28 gold.
Unlucky. Well, that was all about the bait play, right? So they really wanted to bait this M13. They prepare for it, they build for it, they boost for it, and Aviator and Adams just did not fall for it. So as a result, that's pretty solid positioning now as we go into the game.
There's the undercut. There's the undercut.
It's coming out. I guess, I mean, with Widderson being the one with the most sus value on the last wave, being the only person who actually pushed on 11, maybe feeling that pressure a little bit. Or just wanting to spend, most mythium. Why not use it?
I mean, it looks... Oh, is he prepared? He's preparing 15 on Aviator.
I mean, it's not bad if you did expect to send here and you think you're going to get GK'd. That at least mops it up, but he's getting nothing here. And it's not too bad 15.
Yeah, true.
Alright,
the send decides the game.
Yep, 600 mythium, but Aviator, the Four Eyes just wasted away on these Iron Scales and Badgers. It's going to take forever to kill those. Meanwhile, Adams, I mean, he's well over 3k value. It does look like he's going to leak quite badly. So let's go back over to Aviator, who does seem to be performing exceptionally well, but now the Phoenix takes the aggro, and it's going to die very quickly. That's an 80% leak there for Adams, and Aviator, I mean, he's doing better, but it's still going to be a solid leak. 88%. We've got 2 Four Eyes, 3 Ogres reaching the King, but I think they're going to survive here, guys, and now they have a massive pressure lead.
I mean, they have plenty of King Ups here, right? They're laughing, but they are still sending here.
Here comes the wave 15.
They're not going to tee-hee their way further in.
Ofma and Widderson, they are saving their mythium.
Ofma is suiciding again for the 16. They expect the 16 again, and now they're reading it. And this is not going to be good.
Nope, it's not going to work out quite as well for him here as it did in game number 1. Unless he's suiciding for like a Shaman resend here on 15. But even then, I just think Aviator and Adams can hold the longest, right?
They are fine.
It feels like if that was the play, surely would have...
Oh, Widderson's even building against Wave 16 as well with his King Claws, so they're fully committed here to Wave 16, and that's just not going to happen. So Aviator and Adams, they will certainly close this one out here on Wave 15.
Looks like it. I mean, you know, respect the hustle from Ofma there, but
Yeah.
you tricked them in game 1. Fool me once, you know. Shame on me. But they're not going to let that happen a second game in a row.
Not twice in a row. And Ofma, he does leak 169%. Very nice. But Widderson,
nice.
meanwhile, he's not doing too much better. Honestly, 104%. We've got the home run there from the Wibberman. And yeah, these guys are looking exceptionally dead here on wave 15.
It's gonna be close.
It's going to be close, yeah. Maybe if Tenacity was still in the game. Maybe.
Defeat.
Alright, but guys, that does mean that we get game number 3 on the cards, because Adamiator, they do tie the series now 1-1 with a very dominant display here in game number 2, I have to say. If you just look at that graph, they were pretty much in the lead from start to finish, and it all really comes down to this saving mythium thing that I've heard so much about, you know? So we saw this wave 11 send, we saw... actually, no one really pushed workers. Adam's pushing 4, Aviator 3, Widderson 2, Ofma 3. So everyone was quite conservative from the wave 11 sends. And yeah, then it was just a case of who blinks first. And this time it was Ofma and Widderson who pulled the trigger on wave 14, and it just was not enough to do the damage they needed against Aviator and Adams, who then quickly returned to favour on wave 15 with this devastating blow here. Alright. So guys, how are you feeling about game number 3 now with everything to play for?
It's spicy. I mean, the bad news is Adams gets no more chaos. So
yeah.
I didn't really catch all the games yesterday, so I'm not sure what else they were playing. But yeah, he doesn't get to nice luck any crazy combos.
Any Halo for wave 6 or...
I mean, you know, not to discredit their victory, but he did get a very tasty Trinity Archer 14 that cleaned up the entire wave for that send there as well. I don't know if you guys saw, there's an incredibly tasty Pota that he rolled on 14 and used to tank the perfect amount as well there.
Oh, that's pretty juicy.
I mean, both of them from the side of Adamiator on 14 had some very, very nice holds with cleaning up everything but the sends.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess, you know,
yeah,
I mean,
they cringed longer and they reaped the rewards.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, like, I don't care what any good player says, but mythium saving has just absolutely 100% no counter. I win every time I use this, and I lose every time it's used against me, because math. So, what can I say?
Have you tried maximizing your board state value and everything, though?
And all. It's just not enough. The devs really need to look at this.
Yeah. No, I mean, in all seriousness, I think that Widderson had a rough Fiesta opener.
Yep, he did. He really did.
The early game went rough for him, especially because he went for the wave 6 send, where Adams had the perfect counter to. So that early game went rough, and then they made the wrong gamble on 10, and they still managed to bring down the opposing king to 20% on wave 14. So I definitely give a small edge to Ofma and Widderson, but it's not a big edge. Like, I can definitely see Adamiator taking it. They played really well, and let's see if they can do it.
All right, guys, with that said, Julian, thank you. Here is game number 3.
Greed? The vanilla mastermind option.
And Adam's finally picking something which is not chaos. He goes for the cartel here, and he has a very, very nice roll, I have to say. That is a juicer from Adams.
Yeah, we do a little bit of flying fortressing.
Oh, but here's Widderson deciding to return the favour. He wants to nice luck his way to victory here in game number 3.
Nice. And I think this is a very good game to pick Chaos in, because he can... Sorcerer is good for Chaos. Embargo is fine, because you can kind of like take multiple chances to roll for the pressure point at 13 or 14. And Creditor can also be used to great effect if, you know, the opponent doesn't really have pressure on you. So I think it's a smart pick. Let's see if he can pull it off.
Yeah. Yeah, let's see what happens. And meanwhile, Aviator has the Archer, which is just the perfect unit there for Sorcerer, I feel.
Yeah.
So he's going to have a solid game as well. And I've got to say, I fancy Adams' role the most here in this game, with the Flying Force, with the Phoenix, with the Necromata as well. Okay.
There are some Tempest on this lane.
There really is.
There's some.
And the Snail went to the wrong lane.
Mm-hmm.
In 10 waves time, Aviator's going to have a lot of envy for every other person in the game, having the Tempest. He's got no juice for his Trinity Archer just yet.
He has still got a reroll though, so he just needs to get lucky, right?
That's true. That's true.
Oh,
And if you follow Drachia's guide to rerolling, then you always get the Elite Archer if you want it.
Alright, I wonder if Widderson's going to try and resend here, thinking maybe Adams is on Fiesta, which of course we know he is not.
Yeah, I don't think he expects Adamus to pick Fiesta in this kind of situation, especially playing with Aviator.
Mm-hmm.
So I wouldn't Snail.
And neither would Widderson, it seems.
Yeah, we Germans, we just smell it out.
Yep. Gotta build that hexagon somehow.
Yep.
Alright, so nobody sending here wave 2, so all 4 players should easily hold, of course. And yeah, there is a number of Tempests on the field. I see 5 so far, and it's only wave 2.
But maybe Mr. Nyctea, who also plays Chaos, can give me a rundown of how to play Ofma's role, which looks to me as like an absolute unplayable role. But maybe I'm wrong.
Wait, Nyctea, you play Chaos?
I haven't played Chaos in, I want to say, a year.
I was going to say, we can no longer be brothers, but no.
Have you not played Chaos like a long time ago?
I played only Castle for about 9 months, and then in the last 2 weeks played only YOLO and so.
All right, then that's a
read
wrong
into that one you will.
I can see why Julian would get confused though, because Castle and Chaos both start with a C, so very easy to get mixed up there.
And I haven't seen Castle in like the high elo games in like years, so yeah.
Oh, we did see a little bit of mythium saving already from Adamiator, and that is going to come on wave 4.
They spend it here on 4, and I think Ofma is going to be very fine here with 400 value on wave 4. Widderson, he has 125 gold. He can't really spend it on anything apart from cat stacks, though. Oh, never mind. He is going to drop a Sea Dragon here. Meanwhile, Ofma has the 0 gold buff, which of course means he's guaranteed to hold here. Again, I mean, it's only a 60 send as well. Like, this is not particularly dangerous.
Yeah, and they're not full sending. They're keeping a little bit in the chamber, you know.
Yeah, I mean, they want to save Mythium, guys, you know.
They don't want to.
Oh, they have to.
They have to.
Yeah, so
it's so hard to play, though. Like, it's so hard to play for Ofma, I think. And it's also not... I mean, looking at these builds, like, when do you send?
Yeah.
Like, you don't have a clear, quote-unquote, target wave to send on, like Adamus and Aviator had. They could just save for wave 4 and send only income to keep Ofma and Widderson low on workers, and now wave 6 they will be weak again, and so on. Like, the early game is easy to play, but for Ofma and Widderson it's really hard.
And here Widderson is going for a bit of a spicy fruit on 5, but Adams with his 500 value, with his Atom perfectly tanking the Scorpion King, he's going to be very, very fine indeed, I think. And Aviator with just 3 snails, he's going to do just peachy as well.
That's a solid -3 for Mr. Widderson.
That is a -3, need to keep track. Yeah, the Atom is so good on 5 when it just tanks the boss like this.
Atoms are good every wave. I don't know if you're aware of this, but they actually have no weak wave.
That's incredible. That's crazy, bro.
It's pretty strong. Already different to the first 2 games we've seen. No one is yet to skip 2 waves in a row with their Mythium. Which, I mean, I guess makes sense with what you were saying earlier, Julian, with not being any obvious weak waves with these guys. Why not just send income?
Yeah, and Ofma doesn't have a role with which he can really, like, push hard right now. Also, I mean, he has anglers for scaling, but he's also missing solution for wave 13 and for wave 16. So, it's not dangerous to feed him some gold, right?
And he probably wants to push a worker here, but he also really wants to upgrade that angler as well, because wave 7, of course, is the wave where the angler gets the most stacks. So I feel he's going to be a little bit sad if he doesn't get that upgrade here on 7. And yeah, he's staying on 9 workers, so he really does want to upgrade that bounty hunter.
Yeah.
And yep, there it goes. So he has stayed fairly low workers in order to do this. He is getting rewarded with a resend from Adams here, wave 7 though. And yeah, we do see Widderson nice lucking the Trinity Archer with the Leviathan, one of the best combos in the game, and there is Sorcerer as well. That truly is a nice luck there for Wibberman.
You love to see it, if you're Widderson.
If you're Widderson and if you're Ofma. If you're a Brother Ming fan, this is some pretty solid performance here from the Chaos Abuse. But if you're Aviator and Adams, on the other hand, you're slightly less happy.
Oh no, he rolled the Mudman on wave 8 if he needs it wave 9.
Oh.
Because that is weak there. What is he gonna do?
You mean if he's got a full Pierce build, he might roll something good for wave 9 where he is otherwise terrible?
Oh, he's leaking.
He is going to leak the cannon here, yeah.
That's a bit rough.
Waldoson. But that is just one more stack for this bounty hunter, so solid team play there from the Brother Mings.
Yeah. Well, it's 0.6 stacks.
0.6 stacks, yeah, but every level helps, you know.
Oh! He has to sell. He has to sell.
Where am I looking? Widderson. Oh, yeah, he does have to sell, but I mean, he has 2 very easy units to sell.
Building an arc. Oh! The rogue wave.
The rogue wave.
Of course.
What's more broken than a sorcerer, Trinity Archer, Leviathan buffed madness? Well, all of that with a rogue wave, of course, is the answer.
Yeah, and he's getting the resend here, so he's gonna be fine on wave 9 as well. If he's fine here, but I think he is.
He should do fine, yeah. He has the fully stacked cat. He has pretty solid aggro, actually, with 4 of his units tanking at the same time. It is 140 resend, though. And I have to say, we've been talking about rolls, but if you just look at how the early game is progressing, Aviator and Adams, they do seem to have a slight edge here. They've got more workers, more income. They also have the only cartel player, though, and Aviator is leaking a little bit here to some snails. So that is some gold going over to the side of Ofma and Widderson.
It is, yeah. I mean, just the rolls alone account for the income dip with the Creditor and Greed versus cash out on Ofma.
Yeah.
You'd usually expect to use cash out to push an extra worker hero there and start to make up that difference, but instead opting for the Angler and staying behind means he's hoping that now is going to be his power spike.
Yeah.
I think every player in this game is happy so far with how the game's going. I mean, 9 was the only weak wave for pretty much every player on this in this lobby, and income sent 7, 8, you know, no worries, no one's sweating yet.
Yeah.
I think Ofma is a bit worried because of his role. Everyone else has a really strong role and like no clear weak waves coming up at any point during this game, but Ofma has very, very clear weak waves, and there's a big chance they will receive sense there, especially like expecting 13 where Widderson also doesn't look amazing. Maybe they can protect it with Predator or a cheeky like hard push 12 play or something.
I think
they
it's
have to
very
play
likely that
around weak
Widderson
waves.
takes Sorcerer rather than Predator.
Yeah.
Oh, they do go
but
for a full wave 10 send, actually, from
What
all
is
4 players.
this? A power mercenary?
Yeah, what is this? Is that the first one sent all game? No, we did have a brute from Widderson as well.
We did have a brute, yeah. Now, is it going to be a power? Is it a power merc or is it just an income loss merc?
Yeah, I'm not sure because, well, Aviator's value is not great there, 1245, but his build
nice
is
tanks.
amazing on wave 10 with the Howlers, with the Sunfang, and with this Trinity Archer as well.
Yeah, and this kind of already takes off pressure from every player. Again, these income sends. Obviously, Adam's not getting full send here, but I kind of expected them all to be looking at 13. From what we see now, obviously they don't. On the side of Ofma and Widderson, they don't know that Adams had a Phoenix. Has he just re-rolled that away?
He has, but he's picked up the Lord of Death instead, which is very, very solid with the Tempest. And, okay, Aviator leaking 38%. That is actually a very strong performance, given that he's 245 undervalue here on 10.
Yeah. I wonder if it would have been worth for Widderson to add a mole as well, because I think Adams leaks a mole.
Maybe.
But now he has a bigger resend, and I guess he expects Creditor. And Creditor is like... It's dangerous against like mass DTs here.
But Adams is not
Fireball.
pushing too hard. He's dropping down the Lord of Death here. He is taking Embargo, so he is going to be kind of low value. Interesting now if Widderson does full send. He, of course, takes the Sorcerer here for his Trinity Archer. Aviator does the same. Aviator has used his reroll now as well. And by the way, what did he find? It's the Tempest.
Yeah. Of
It's
course.
the Tempest.
Yeah. So Aviator's late game is now absolutely obscene, with the Tempest, with the Archer, with the Sorcerer, with the Phoenix as well, and Mudman is just the perfect tank to pair with those units. Alright, let's keep eyes on the Dams. He's receiving a 240 send here. He did have the Lord of Death, but the DTs should tank those quite nicely, at least for a little while. The Violet, it doesn't get off one more spell. Maybe he goes for a bit of a leak. It's not terrible, though.
He goes for a decent sized leak. Widderson is going to be happy with this. I'm just worried that they misread the situation and think that Adamus has Creditor when in fact he has Embargo.
Yeah.
And wave 13 is a big threat. And Widderson did not roll like the trademark counters for this wave yet. The Priestess is good, of course, but yeah, he's pinging the Sorcerer, so he knows he's not under too much pressure and should hold 13. But Ofma is not holding anything.
No, but Ofma, he's made the same play as Adams, so Ofma also took the Embargo. He did not full send against Aviator on 11, so he has 260 mythium stored up, plus the Embargo mythium as well. But yeah, like you were saying, Ofma just has zero chance of holding on wave 13, right? So if Adams and Aviator decide to pull the trigger there on 13, Ofma is just very, very dead indeed.
Yeah.
For sure. I mean, I'm expecting it's either going to be 13, or if they think they're going to get panic sent there and they can cringe even longer, then 15. There's no shot anyone is looking at 14 on this board at the moment. So
no, not with
it's
the double.
It's all whether they're going to just pull the trigger now, or whether they expect Phoenixes on both Ofma and Widder.
Yeah.
Okay, there's income.
So Ofma and Widderson are going to go for Income King. Aviator and Adams are going to go for full sends, of course. And these are pretty massive sends, by the way. We've got Centaur, Mole from Aviator. We've got double Four Eyes from Adams. Now, Widderson, he did roll the Infiltrators last wave, so he upgrades them here. He's going to full boost, of course.
Yar,
Spectral Scallywag. I mean, that's Ofma's probably best hope here, which is a bit of a forlorn hope if we're honest. Sure, it can tank, but he just has no damage here on wave 13 whatsoever.
Yeah, it's looking like there's some home run potential here.
Yeah, now Widderson, at least with this triple boosted Orchid, should be able to do some insane damage. Oh wow, they completely ignore the DTs as well. He's deleting the left-hand side of the wave.
Oof, that was really rough.
Really. Now, of course, we've got Aviator and Adams holding, so we don't need to worry about those guys too much. Widderson, he's doing well, but I don't think he can hold, or can he?
He's holding.
Ofma? Does he kill one more? He does not. That's 117% leak. And Widderson, with the Sorcerer Trinity Archer, with those boosted Orchids, this is enough. That is a dream hold from this young man. His send was smaller, 520 mythium. And Adams, he does leak to the Drake, so he has been shamed. Mr. Slickins would be proud.
He has been. I mean, Ofma's hold there was honestly much better than anticipated.
Yeah, right. He had no damage. He does have value, which I've heard is quite good.
Yeah. I mean, and now the income is in favor of Widderson and Ofma, which is good for them. But still, like, I don't know. The Spectral Scallywag, I haven't got a chance to play with it. Maybe it's just insane with Life Binders. But if it's not, then I still think he has a very, very rough roll.
I mean, I think it definitely synergizes with healing. I just don't know how good it is. And more to the point, he just has no top end, right? Like, what is he going to do now? Just build Red Eyes? Sure, he's going to be strong on 17 and 19, but then he just sucks on every other wave.
Yeah. And Aviator has pushed approximately 0 workers, his favorite number of workers to push.
Classic.
And shifted 700 gold to bait the 15 cent. I would be very surprised if it worked though.
Well, that's the thing. So these plays, like, they used to work in Nova Cups where one team would get very nervous, but now it seems that every team does this in every game, where they get a send, they just don't build on the next wave, but they also don't spend any of their gold. And yeah, now he's going to be... He's got 1,200 gold to spend here on wave 15.
Yeah. I wonder if Widderson is getting the Phoenix here, or if he is like greeding for late game with like 1 banker or something.
He does go for the Phoenix, yeah. Oh, wait.
Oh?
Widderson? No, he does.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a juicy Phoenix, by the way. It's buffed by the Leviathan, buffed by the APS. That's very, very solid. He needs to get this Rogue Wave upgraded as well, by the way.
Yeah.
In time.
Aviator is shifting 500 gold again to keep like pretending that he pushed.
He pressed the worker button when we, of course, know that he did not.
They want to bait the 16 cent and probably
go 18. It worked!
And it works.
They took the bait, hook, line, and sinker. Ofma is spending his mythium. Imagine spending your mythium in Legion TD2.
Yeah. And Adams looks like super busted on 16 with his double buffed ADs.
He's very, very undervalued.
Fatalizer. Yeah. I wonder if it's enough, or if we have a Pyro situation again where, in theory, his build is insane, but he just doesn't have the value. I think Aviator should be fine, but even he is pretty much undervalued.
He is undervalued. Adams, I mean, he's building 2 wirelets here on wave 16. I don't know, that doesn't really seem to provide any Gigastrong Gate delay as far as I can see.
Yeah, I think he needed 4. He needed 4 violets!
Oh!
The Phoenix perfectly off-tanking, as always, so it's gonna just Giga Smurf.
Oh. Yeah, that is very clutch there from Aviator. He's 655 undervalue, but his aggro is absolutely perfect. Doesn't he just hold?
Yeah,
Adams, he's leaking quite badly, though. Well, he's actually doing very well. Yeah, Aviator does hold. Adams leaks 100%, so it's a home run, but it could have been much, much worse. Now, Aviator, he did hold his own lane, but he's not covering anything in the mid, so they are going to lose a little bit of King HP, and they
go 17?
They finally spend their mythium here on 17. I mean, look at Widderson on 18, right?
And they read it! They read it! How do they read this?
Yeah.
How do they not expect 18 with this build?
Yeah.
Huh? I mean, Widderson is building 1 Halo, but like he's also preparing for this wave.
Yeah. Well, Widderson doesn't really have anything great to build here on this wave, if we're honest. He is upgrading an Alpha Male. They are doing their King upgrades as well. Now we have a Great Boar from Ofma 2. But these guys are still quite heavily undervalued, right? Ofma's 600 under. Widderson, when he finishes building, is 700 under. He's fully boosting as well.
Yeah.
But they're definitely going to leak, right? For sure. This is 1,100 mythium for Ofma, 1,000 for Widderson as well. His Orchids are shredding the left side. Phoenix is smurfing. The Kraken goes down now. Oh, wow. I mean, how broken is this combo? Trinity Archer, Leviathan, Rogue Wave, Sorcerer. He's just melting the wave. Ofma's doing very well as well, but he will still leak here. That's 129% from Ofma. Wibberman, he does leak. Okay, it's only a half HP Kraken and a creep, though. Meanwhile, Adams is getting income shamed once again here. But with only 10 creeps reaching the king, Ofma and Widderson, they performed exceptionally well here, wave 17.
This is a resend, right? Is this a resend from Aviator and Adams? They are pushing so hard.
They're pushing.
They have to.
Yeah. We've got opposite plays on both sides, because Ofma and Widderson are not pushing
a single worker.
They're planning on going 20.
Time and time again on these Nova Cup casts. pushing workers just doesn't pay off, guys. It's called Legion Tower Defense, not Legion Worker Offense.
But this isn't just pushing workers. This is
It's a double
Giga
Sui
push.
play.
yeah.
This is why I thought they were gonna resend, but I guess they don't. They want 19.
I mean, they are correctly, I think, assuming that Ofma and Widder want 20. They're banking on not getting sent next and catching them out with a surprise. But I mean, will the sends be big enough? They will be absolutely monstrous.
Yeah, they will. They're pushing crazy hard. Now, Widderson, he did get Zeria here, so he's going to have 2 of those on his APS for next wave, but they won't tank, so they won't give him too much value, honestly. He also hasn't really rolled anything great for 19, though Ofma is very strong there with his red eyes, with his Tempest circles, with his Kingpins as well, and now...
This might trigger the send. This looks enough like a suicide that they might send.
Yeah,
if they don't, they die, I think.
I mean, it is a suicide, though. It is a full suicide. Like, Adams is keeping on pushing.
Yeah. Do they send?
I feel like they're just not going to. They have their game plan. They haven't pushed a single worker.
This is getting spicy now, guys. This is one of those where, like, they do the fake suicide so many times that Ofma and Widderson just don't even consider that this time it might be real. But
they know now.
But oh boy, this is real. Yeah, when they see their values.
No, it's not the value, it's the power score. The value would be the same if they just pretended it.
Yeah.
But the power score jump tells you that it's very clearly a suicide.
Right.
Which is why Widderson is boosting as well. But they don't think that sending gives them a win. But I think...
I think sending post-income would make them win, though, right?
I mean, like the hardened columns and stuff, probably not.
Okay, well, they still need to be able to hold. These sends are massive. Nearly 1,500 for Ofma, just over 1,400 for Wibberman, and he still has this disgusting Trinity Archer Leviathan Sorcerer Rogue Wave combo, which is just melting the wave.
Yeah, but it's not enough. It's not enough.
It's not enough.
They
Adams
die.
leaks to no send. Widderson, he does leak, and Ofma's 109%ing as well, with 54% King HP remaining.
Wow.
Aviator and Adams are the semi-final winners here. They move through to the grand final. Ofma and Widderson go home with nothing.
Rough.
Insane.
That
What
was
a play.
That was a beautiful play. I mean, it just goes to show how big the mind games are in determining the winners of these games.
Yeah, right.
You know, it all comes down to one big call, and if you can get inside your opponent's head, like Adamiator did right there. I mean, they knew what was going to come. They could see that Ofma only has one strong wave left in the game, and they correctly predicted that they're going to think they're perfectly safe 19.
Yeah.
And they just don't see it coming. They get blindsided, you know. The 18, even though they see the suicide on Adams, they.
Yeah. Well, they just think it's fake again, right?
It's fake, or
we saw this on 14 where they didn't spend their gold, and then they just had value for days on 16. So they just think, well, they're doing the same play again here on 18. There's no way they pressed the worker button. That's not how Legion TD works. But in this case it was. Adams and Aviator, they actually pushed workers for the first time in Nova Cup history, and it won them the game, which is just crazy to think about.
Yeah. Not what I thought was going to happen.
And all it took was pushing, 62 workers between them?
Yeah.
That's just about enough.
Kind of crazy. And what's more, by the way, guys, like, this is really worth pointing out. Adams actually won a game without abusing chaos. That's pretty insane.
Someone check him, PC.
Alright guys, so we do have the results from both semi-finals now. It seems that in the other semi-final, Drakir and Lucy were able to achieve victory against Shadow Wings and Eidetic, so 0-4 Report and Ban Shadow are out of the competition. And likewise, Ofma and Widderson, despite a very good showing here in this semi-final, they are out as well. That means that your grand finalists this month will be Drakir and Lucy facing off against Adams and Aviator. So that is going to be a very, very juicy one indeed. But guys, we need to have a bit of a break here, probably 10 minutes to let the players gather their thoughts, rest and relax, let the casters rest our voices as well.